what is it that you love the most about video game music?
The experience of playing a video game is kind of unlike any other medium. It's not like movies or like even just listening to an album or something. Like when you're playing a video game, there's this whole other level of immersion that you don't get from any other media. You're imprinting yourself into this video game character. So therefore you're almost disassociating with your real self and becoming that self. And then that's the soundtrack to you.
Yeah.
You know, in a movie, the soundtrack is that, you know, that's the soundtrack for Jack and Rose on the Titanic, or, you know, whatever.
About it.
In a video game, yeah, well, it hits. That's why it hits you so much harder. I think that's why. I think video game music, for the people that open themselves up to it, obviously, it imprints way harder than any other medium.
Hey, what's up, Jules? This is Alex.
What up?
Jules is the guy who's been making this, probably your favorite metal covers on the internet for the past 10 years. He's a Doorbell Megalovania guy. He made music for...
More people know me for that. No, more people know me for the Doorbell than actual video game metal covers.
Like, people have so many reasons to know you. Like, the metal covers you've been doing for 10 years. The Megalovania Doorbell. The freaking Super Mario medley with, like, all the YouTubers in it. What else did you do? Like, he made music for Cadence and Hyrule. I might be forgetting something. So, anyway, Jules is just this person who's committed... essentially, like, I suppose, your life to making music stuff, and it shows.
Yeah.
Like, the ideas that you have are those of someone that really committed himself to this craft 100%. He even played a Super Mario cover with freaking John Petrucci from Dream Theater, and you also made a cover along with Grant Kirkhope, which is one of your personal heroes, right?
Yes.
So this man. Okay, so if you don't know Jules, check out this channel now. Today, I'm going to interview him, asking your questions that you have for him, starting from how does it feel being everyone's dad?
Yeah. Okay. So needs a little bit of context.
Yeah, I'm confused as well for that. I'm like, what? What is that?
I'm surprised because you've stopped by the streams and have to have in passing seen somebody call me dad.
Yeah. But I wonder why.
I think so. One of my best friends, another content creator, goes by Lyle Rath, formerly known as Lyle McDouchebag. He, for some reason, his whole community just started calling him dad, and I guess he just kind of like went along with it and stuff. But he was just like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but whatever. And then it kind of transferred into my community, so people started calling me dad, and I really I opened myself up to it. I was like, yeah, call me dad, you know, go for it. Like, I don't at this point, I've been making video game covers on YouTube for like 10 years. I'm pretty much a geezer. Like, I'm essentially a dinosaur at this point. So if people call me dad, I assume that means either you respect me or I make really bad jokes, or both. And I'll take both. Do
you feel more responsible for this? Like when people call you dad and stuff? You feel like...
I feel like that's it's a sign of respect. So I mean, I definitely, you know, Spider-Man this stuff, like from the beginning, like with great power comes great responsibility. Like when I was, you know, starting to see like, whoa, like, you know, my channel's kind of blowing up and I'm, you know, becoming one of the just the big names, you know, you know, I'd still say I'm not necessarily the biggest name in the scene.
No, you just collaborated with freaking John Petrucci from Dream Theater. You know? I mean, dude, like, here's the thing. Like, I understand what people tend to hate when someone is like proud of themselves for some reason. I'm not like that, so you can be like that with me. There's no problem at all.
No,
You've been doing a lot of work and stuff like that, and
no, I'm the same way. I feel like this whole like, you know, like, oh, I have to be humble, but also humble brag. But like, well, like that's what makes people not learn to. Like, you wonder why people don't have self-respect anymore. It's because it's like literally looked down upon. Like everybody thinks it's bad to say like, hey, I did something cool, and like, so yeah, no, you got to be like, yeah, like I know I've done some cool shit. Like I can swear, right? Like
yeah, man. I'm Italian. I swear all the time. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I know I've done some cool shit. Like it's, you know, it's
I think
indisputable at this point.
It's a balance of like being aware of how much more you can do. And also knowing what you have done. Yeah, so I think you got that right. So
yeah, when I was coming up, like it never like felt like I woke up one day and I was like, wow, I have a lot of fans. You know, like it happened very slowly as a, you know, like over the course of 10 years. But once I started feeling that, I was like, okay, if people are going to be inspired by me to start like dedicating their life to making video game metal covers, like very specific, but or just anything to do with like video game music, I have to be a good role model for that. So I definitely took responsibility with that and tried to be like, okay, like if people like want some advice, like I'll give it to them, but like I'm always going to be encouraging and motivating and stuff to everybody. And I think that's important.
Yeah, it's great. That's my same mindset. Actually, this segues in one of the questions that people asked is what kept you going as a musician and content creator? Around 10 years worth of work is sure to have frustration, writer's block, and burnout. So what is your motivation?
I'm not really good at anything else. So it's like...
No, you used to be, wait, you used to be a developer or something, right? You used to work...
I mean, I by developer, I messed around with Game Maker at one point, but I didn't like make anything.
Same. Okay.
Yeah, well, like it's like it's I don't know. I've done a lot, but like for some reason, I think there's something about like the first thing that starts kind of like kind of giving you an identity, kind of giving you that block of just like, okay, here's where I fit in the world. Like you latch onto that at a young age, I think.
Yeah.
And for me, I was just coming out of college, or actually no, I was just coming out of high school. Had a few jobs, and then I was just doing a bunch of stuff. But then like, I make some GoldenEye 007 guitar medley on YouTube. It starts getting some views, and I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. I'll just keep doing this. And then eventually it just, like I think it just kind of built a momentum.
Yeah.
And there's been frustrations, but I'm not good at anything else. So I'm not going to go do anything else. I'm going to just like work through it,
I mean, that's a cool question. Like a cool answer, I would say. Like, but I'm sure you could find loads of other talents. Like, you are freaking proficient at so many instruments, and you bought a cello. Like,
yes.
Who in the right mind says, "Hey, I want to learn how to play cello," just buys a cello and then uses it in a cover? Like, that's not easy to do. I think you're good at reverse engineering things, like learning instruments, for example. Like, maybe at this point you have, I don't know, some tricks or something like that to learn them. But
my trick is I just like, the worst thing that can happen is I could sound bad. Like, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Okay,
yeah.
There you go. Maybe, but this is what I mean. Like, you're good at being a showman, and you're good at embracing yourself and just making people feel great.
I guess
you
so.
goofing around. Maybe that's why you started your Twitch channel.
Well, I started Twitch mostly out of inspiration from like other people who like I think like I just had people like, hey, can I play your music on my Twitch channel? I'm like, what is a Twitch channel? And but this was back in like 2014 or 2013. Like I've had the Twitch channel for a while, but like honestly, one of the things that I think really helped my motivation to kind of keep going and stuff was I had to stop doing music 24/7, because that's what I was doing, like making weekly videos and stuff and kind of reinventing the wheel every week. Like I wasn't really templating. I was like literally starting from scratch every time and pouring like 80 plus hours, a week into every cover and doing that consistently. Eventually I had to break it up, and I took up speedrunning, because it's completely different from music. It it borrows from the passion that got me into what I do now, but I don't know, it was different. It was something I didn't think I could do, so heck, I'll try it.
People don't think about this. Like, people don't think about the fact that like working at your passion, turning your hobby into your work, makes it work in a way. So it
definitely
kind of, in a way, sometimes stops being nice or fun, and sometimes you're like, oh, I need another hobby. So you need to be careful not to turn every hobby you have into work, which is what I tend to do, and I fuck myself over.
Well, it just means you're really good at your hobbies, because people will throw money at you for your hobbies.
Yeah. So. By the way, dude, sorry if I interrupt all the time. I'm just excited to talk to you. But people, I know people in the comments are gonna be like, "Let him talk, you piece of shit!" And I'm like, "Oh no, please!" I just was engaged.
I mean, honestly, we're literally video calling like from separate sides of the earth, so I'm sure like lag is a thing too. So don't even worry about it. Like I'm used to it.
Okay, thanks. So a few questions again. Like this is the first question I wanted to ask you. What is it that you love the most about video game music?
So the experience of playing a video game is kind of unlike any other medium. It's not like movies or like even just listening to an album or something. Like when you're playing a video game, there's this whole other level of immersion that you don't get from any other media. You're imprinting yourself into this video game character, so therefore you're almost disassociating with your real self and becoming that self, and then that's the soundtrack to you. In a movie, the soundtrack is that, that's the soundtrack for, Jack and Rose on the Titanic, or whatever.
About it.
In a video game, well, it hits. That's why it hits you so much harder. That's why people like. So there's so many more people covering video game music, I think, than like movie music. There are a few, but I think that's why. I think video game music really, for the people that open themselves up to it, obviously, it imprints way harder than any other medium. So
there's another thing you're great at: psychology.
Yes, So I almost got my psychology degree. So
really,
almost. But I got. Well, I studied music, which that in itself is essentially like two majors. So by the time I was done with my music degree, I was like, I'm done with school. I only got my associates, and I'm like, dude, nah, I'm done. Like I can't do this anymore.
Dude, that's dope though. Like I'm very into psychology personally. Like if I wasn't a musician, I'd probably be a psychologist or a chef or something. That's cool, man. But I never thought about the fact that that's a soundtrack to you. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, that's a cool answer. So what are your favorite soundtracks in video games? I actually know the answer, but someone is asking. So
it usually flip-flops, but I think my favorite soundtrack of all time is Snowboard Kids for the Nintendo 64.
Oh, I thought it was Jet Force Gemini.
It flips between that one and that one. It depends on my mood, because like Jet Force Gemini is like if you ignore the instrument quality, that's obviously you can only fit so much on a Nintendo cartridge, but and just look at the actual compositions. Most of that's I think it was Robin Beanland who did that one. It was like everybody from Rare, I think except for Grant, pitched in to that soundtrack, but it was mostly Robin, and he also did Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is a completely different feel, but it just shows his compositional prowess. So Jet Force Gemini is the biggest, most I hate to overuse the word epic, but it's absolutely the definition of epic as far as a soundtrack. But dude, Snowboard Kids is essentially happy-go-lucky cocaine anime intro fest. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you're not in the mood to get dark
and broody,
cinematic orchestra string.
People, that's what I do all the fucking time. but people will be surprised actually. People are always surprised when maybe you have it too. You have an artist that you love and you check out what are their inspirations, and it's completely opposite from what they do. I don't know, Owl City maybe listens to black metal. No, maybe not. But sometimes you have that. And personally, people know me for funk music now, but actually I've been making orchestral music, film music, because I work in that field, traders and stuff. But what I was inspired the whole time is Nobuo Uematsu. So that's fun. You never know. So about you, do you find you're more so inspired by American composers then, or Japanese? Because it sounds, maybe it's half and half.
It's not. I feel like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really have to do with where they're from, because I feel like I love everything.
Absolutely.
I'm as inspired by. It also depends on the music, right? So if I'm writing an orchestral piece, I'm not going to be referencing Streetlight Manifesto, which is my favorite ska band. Now, if I'm writing ska music, I'm not going to be, referencing Tchaikovsky. I'm going to,
that'd be interesting.
It would be interesting, but for a client, they would be like, what?
So people wanted to know actually, what are your biggest influences in outside of video game music? So Streetlight Manifesto. What else?
Avenged Sevenfold is my favorite metal band. Probably my favorite band ever.
What's your favorite song from them?
Right now it's Sunny D, man. The stage hit me by the what was the
It's
was
an
the album
interesting
before the
song.
stage?
It's a very interesting song.
Yeah, it's sick. I just love the horns in that. But
Yeah.
what's the Hail to the King was the last one they put out, right? When
Before
Hail to
the
the King
stage.
came out,
Before the stage, yeah.
when Hail to the King came out, I was convinced that no album would ever surpass Waking the Fallen. You know,
Okay.
like I was just kind of like Waking the Fallen's their best album. It's just never going to be topped. And then the stage met that. Like, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. And it sucks because like I feel like a lot of people didn't listen to the stage because
of Hail to the King and all.
well, even like the stage, like as the single, like it's really long. It's, you know, it's great, but it drags. It has like a whole narrative to it. And the rest of the album doesn't sound anything like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, like in my opinion, like again, the stage as a song is an amazing song. I thought it was the weakest song on the album. You know, obviously like still a 9 out of 10, but all the other songs were like, you know, 9.5 out of 10.
I don't even remember the stage, the song. I remember the other songs.
Yes.
I don't know. Wait, what's the name of the song? The final one.
Is it Exists?
Yeah, man, that one is so fucking cool.
I love Sevenfold. I love Death Clock. I'm a huge Brendan Small fan. Lamb of God was the first band that I got into that really got me riffing. So you know, like I owe a lot of my chops to Mark Morton from Lamb of God because I just, you know, studied his playing and the Adlers, Willie Adler. And then I'm a big fan of The Doors. I really like classic rock and stuff. So I've read many biographies of Jim Morrison because I think he was an absolutely fascinating, brilliant idiot. Like, you know, like you know, it's just like he had a very colorful life, and I think it's really interesting. And it really is like the, you know, when I grew up, I was so enamored by rock star you know, lifestyle and stuff, and Jim Morrison had one of like the most interesting rock star lives, in my opinion.
Did that inspire you? But because you are a rock star as well, like outside of video game music, you have a band called Thunderforge, right? You guys tour and shit. Do you have some like crazy touring stories?
Not really. We haven't really toured yet because we're still working on the full length album. It's in my court. I got to finish producing it, but we do have an EP out. We play a lot of shows locally. Most of my stories are other acts that we played with, which obviously you never talk about. So, you know, because like one of like in the scene that I was in, we had some of the most interesting kinds of bands come through. Because I'm originally from Western Massachusetts, I live in San Diego, California now, but we had the weirdest but most interesting and creative bands that we would open for or would open for us and stuff. And some of them were wild. But I think one of our best friend bands is a band called Goblet, and they're a thrash metal band that they sing about like some of their songs are about like surfers fighting sharks. There's a song about dragons in space. I think they have the best songs ever, and we met them because we played a taco restaurant.
What?
they did their CD release party at a taco restaurant. Like there's like families eating like
they hear about dragons in space.
Yes, thrash metal too. Like they're also it was a mess, but it was amazing.
America is amazing.
We love those guys.
Yeah, holy shit, man. Okay, so tough question here. What's the best video game track ever made, in your opinion?
Dire Dire Docks. I'm just going with the first thing that came to my head when I think of the most perfect video game song composed. It's probably Dire Dire Docks, mostly because of its adaptiveness. If you want to talk about the most like influential video game song of all time, I think it's Megalovania. Because
I don't think. Why do you think it's so catchy? Like, I made a video.
Why do I think?
Yeah, I made a video about it. But people want to know more perspectives. Why? What do you personally think Megalovania is such a catchy banger?
Because it's repetitive, and the second you get comfortable with it, it changes it up and keeps you interested. That's like literally the perfect, like it creates the motif, puts it right in front of you, and then says, okay, screw everything you know, but just enough to keep you interested and not lost. Like it keeps you in that flow state that every composer wants to have their listener in the whole time. Yeah,
true. That's a perfect answer. Actually, everyone will understand that. So about your covers, because lots of people might be watching this because of the covers, and when they hear us talking about nerd music stuff, like, no, shut up, tell me about the covers. Okay,
we just want to talk about 251 just a little bit. Can we talk about some chord progressions? And
absolutely, we can do that later. But if your channel was only going to be remembered for one video, which one would you like it to be? Like the aliens come, they delete every single video except one. you get to choose which one they keep.
The Mario medley. I think the one with everybody on it.
Yeah, man. That one makes me so happy. Sorry, like, please.
No, you're good. No, we're having a conversation, dude.
No,
How dare you? How dare you interrupt? Do you know who I am? I played guitar with John Petrucci.
Exactly.
Grant Kirkhope is my illegitimate father.
No, dude. People in the comments are gonna say that. I did an interview with Jason Miller. Amazing. I was so excited to talk, and people were like, "Why are you interrupting all the time?" Like, no, sorry.
Dude, just do what I do. Don't read the comments. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I love my people, but I understand you too as well. When you get too big, it's hard. But yeah, that Mario medley was so fucking cool. Like I think it's the singular best cover video on YouTube for video game music.
And it also just like it represents so many different people, so many different styles. I mean, I know the comments. The comments are all like, "Whoa, they're all metal guitarists," and it's objectively not. But I like it's not going to appease everybody, and no video is going to appease everybody. But that video isn't about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about video game music and the people who love video game music, and that's why I think that's the one that I would want the aliens to leave.
Yeah, how much time did it take to make that one? Like the dedication that it must have taken must have been insane.
It took a month.
It took a month, an entire month to do that?
Pretty much, yeah.
How many hours do you think? Like 8 hours per day?
More than that, for sure.
Wow.
But, I remember there was a bit of prep because I obviously needed to get in touch with every musician that was going to be on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, way more than 8 hours a day for sure. But, yeah, I think the most draining part was the video editing for sure. It's, because you have to sit there and you got to download everyone's video and then put it in Premiere and get it all lined up. And
you did it yourself? Like you did everything yourself?
Pretty much everything. The 3D animation in the beginning was my roommate Corey. He did the flip around thing. He's like a genius with that stuff, so he killed it with that. And yeah, but other than that, I mixed, mastered, video edited, arranged, everything.
Holy shit, man! Having to mix all the different music from all the different people into something cohesive must have been insane.
It was the best part, honestly, because
really?
Oh yeah, because by the time I was just finally getting used to one person's entry, I got to go to the next one, and it was just crack. It was just oh my god, it was just serotonin straight to the brain because it's oh my god, this person's super talented. How's the next one gonna even compete? And it does. It always does. Everybody in that video is insanely talented. So it's
dude.
it's mind blowing.
It never fails to bring a smile to my face, especially when it gets to jump up superstar. That's the best. That's so fun. It's amazing. It makes. I have this thing my brain latches onto in a song 4 seconds, and then I want to release it to the whole song because I want to experience those 4 seconds in context of the whole song. For that one, I want to experience Jump Up Superstar in the context of the overall 20 minutes medley. So that part got me listening to it again and again and again and again. And the video is so fun. So I really love it. But okay, when making normal covers though, what does your process normally look like? How do you start? How do you choose the song? How much time does it take? And what's the,
I honestly think the most chaotic part of the process is the song choice. It's everything else is completely templated and completely just efficiency maximized. Because I've been doing it for so long weekly, I've found things that allow me to kind of add creative touches to each project, but still get it done in a ridiculously fast speed. So typically Monday rolls around, I wake up, I browse Reddit for about an hour before I actually get out of bed, and I decide, what am I going to cover this week? And hopefully I've decided by then. If I haven't, I'll go downstairs, bash my head against the keyboard until something comes to my head. But usually it's either something that's stuck in my head or something that my girlfriend Adriana is just singing constantly, because she's a singer on YouTube as well. she's like always singing. So like if there's like a video game song that that's stuck in her head, I'm probably gonna cover it because she sings it so many times that it's stuck in my head now.
I love it when you guys collab, like the Rhythm Evans song. Like, what was the name? That one was fun.
We have a fan club. Yeah, we did that at Con Bravo in Canada. That was fun.
Yeah.
We're actually releasing a video tomorrow where we're both singing in it. And I'm really excited.
Is there another instrument? Like, then we go back to the process of making covers. But is there some instrument that you're trying to learn? The new one. I know you're a professional, like guitar, ocarina, cello, bass. You also sing. Do you have some new instrument that?
Singing is hard because I've always had trouble making my voice work in the style of music that I want to do.
Oh yeah.
I feel like lately I'm starting to finally find my voice, and I'm kind of excited to experiment with it. But I had a girlfriend a long time ago who told me that like I'd probably at most be a backup singer, and that kind of took that took a hit. At an early age for me. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, when you're growing up and you're a teenager, those comments really sit with you. So
yeah, no,
obviously, I'm growing past it. But I'd love to learn trombone. I don't know any horn instruments.
Trombone.
So that's probably the one. That'd be fun.
You can play some Bloodborne music with that.
Yeah, dude.
So what is your favorite part in the process of making a cover?
Honestly, so when Monday comes around, that's my arranging day. That's all I have to do on Monday, and I do it exactly like when Monday rolls around. I always do the same thing. So we're recording this on a Monday. Today I arranged my next cover. Then Tuesday is the day that I record everything. So I track the whole thing. And then usually I'll mix it because I have a mix template and stuff. And I think the mixing is my favorite part, either mixing or tracking. Just because I'm in the music at that point.
I'm very curious about your mixes, but I wanted to ask you something else. So you arrange in a day, but what do you use to arrange? Like, do you use virtual guitars and then record the real guitars, or do you? Yeah, so you use a shreddage or something like that. Oh, by the way, shreddage. You made shreddage. Like you recorded.
I did, and I use my own shreddage to arrange my covers.
How does that feel?
Well, I know what it's going to sound like. It's really helpful. It does feel like cheating in a way because I know how it's going to sound before I lay it down. And
people who don't know, shreddage is this virtual guitar library that FamilyJules recorded. So you recorded like note by note on the guitar, like
multiple times. Yeah.
How long did that take?
That was probably an 80-hour project.
Wow.
Like total. So I mean, it wasn't just like every individual note, because like it's every individual note plucked, multiple different dynamics, and then hammer-ons, pull-offs, then portamento for each note combination. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to, and then it's just like every single thing on a 7-string guitar. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was not my favorite project I've ever done, but it really paid off, like, because not only was it a paying gig, obviously, but like people love it and I use it and it makes my process easier. So
also Impact Soundworks is a freaking great developer, so
I love those guys. Love those guys.
So I wanted to ask you about your mixing. My favorite cover of yours, or I actually discovered you I think 2017 or 16 with Persona 5 Life Will Change, which reached 1 million a few months ago. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool to see. And then I listened to your there you go. I didn't even notice it. But then I listened to your Valhalla cover of Every Day Is Night. Man, the guitars there sound so amazing. Do you use like Valhalla Shimmer or something in your guitars? Because they sound huge. Okay.
Specifically, I use Valhalla Shimmer. I actually literally just today.
What do you do on the bass? Actually, sorry if you interrupt.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say, I bought my first reverb plugin since buying Valhalla Shimmer in 2015 because I've loved Shimmer so much since then. But I got Isotopes. Was that the Neuro Reverb or whatever?
Oh yeah.
It literally has a button that analyzes the music that it's pulling in and creates an EQ response to specifically your songs. Dude, like, I'm all for the AI takeover of music, man. I know a lot of people are like, well, humans are going to be obsolete. It's, like, have it, dude. Like, give it to the robots. They'll make better music than me, and it's going to be sick. There's always going to be a job for somebody who has to, like, listen to the music and make sure. Right.
You input the creativity and the robot makes it, more pristine or whatever. But you're the creator anyway.
Dude, us producers are going to be the ones making the robot, so we're always going to have jobs.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully, knock on wood. But Valhalla Shimmer has been, a key point of my sound for at least the last 5 years. For bass, I had the most complicated chain of throwing it through an EQ and then the glue by Cytomic, CLA bass, and then routing it through another bus, which was then for a while a bunch of EQs, a bunch of compressors, some limiters. Then I got Neutron, and Neutron's just hit a button and it makes the bass sound good. Great. So then eventually I discovered Neural DSP, and they have a plugin called Parallax.
Oh, it's the one from is it the one from Nolly? No,
probably. Well, Nolly did a Neural DSP plugin.
Okay, yeah.
But now I literally just use that and I'm done because it sounds amazing. And it cuts through the mix. It sounds chunky. I want that chunky peanut butter bass tone, and I get it.
What I hear when I hear your music is always whoa,
bass, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, I know you play the meanest bass of all time. Can I just say that when I grew up, bassists were not respected. Bassists were the least liked member of the band, and we live in a time now where bass is with Davey 504, Adam Neely, all these guys. Dude, bass is over. It's hip, dude. It's cool. I love it. I'm so happy for it.
Same, man. That's what I like the most about bass. Actually, I actually like the idea of being an underdog. So I have this tendency of if I become popular or something, I kind of forget about it a little bit and I do something that is uncool and try to make it cool. So that's probably where the funk bass videos came up from, because I'm hey, no one is doing funk covers. Just let's make a few, and then it's fun. And what about you? Do you have a favorite instrument? Is it guitar or is it something else?
Yeah, it's probably guitar.
Guitar?
I mean, it's just it also depends. Sometimes I want to, grab my 8-string and, put on the worst possible guitar tone of all time and just blah, blah, blah. But sometimes I want to, I studied classical guitar, so sometimes I want to, play some Barrios or Villa Lobos.
Yeah, those
whatever,
the best.
Whatever I feel.
That must be great. Do you have some advice for people who want to start playing instruments in their 20s, who never played before?
Yeah, there's a whole psychology to this that I've been talking about at length with my roommate Jack, who goes by Toxic Eternity.
Oh, you guys live together?
Yeah, we live together.
Man, that's wow, that's amazing. So you literally live with your best friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's living the dream. He's great. I fucking love Toxic Eternity. Say hi to him from my part.
Absolutely, I will. It's definitely made quarantine through the whole COVID mess a lot more bearable, because I mean we live with it's 5 people in the house, and it's been awesome.
That's cool.
But yeah, we've talked at length about how much more difficult it is to learn music in your 20s, at the point at which everybody is usually just oh, I missed my prime. I can't learn it now. It's too late,
Yeah.
And then you always hear the thing Jimi Hendrix learned guitar at 18 or whatever, and died at 27. He literally didn't even have 10 years, and he completely reinvented the instrument. So I mean, but then they're oh yeah, that's cool, but then they don't do it anyway. But it's really I think that when you're a teenager and you look at a guitar, you look at how in 15 years, you could be on a stage with lights and dudes cheering and girls flashing and everything's going crazy.
Yeah.
But when you're in your 20s, you have much more realistic expectations. So you're okay, well, I might make a YouTube channel, compared to that, it's just all right.
People flashing on the screen without me saying
it. Yeah, I can't see it. I could just see the ASCII boobies in the comments, and that's it. It's nothing. But no, I feel it's it's all about goals. Like
Yeah.
if you have realistic goals and they're motivating goals, you will do it. But if those goals aren't going to push you, you're going to be like, oh, I have to play guitar today. I also teach guitar on top of everything else I do. I give lessons to a few select students, and I love teaching guitar because it keeps me grounded with the fundamentals, of course. But it also reminds me of just like how awful it was to learn an instrument.
Oh yeah.
It sucks. It like, and you have to just kind of like prepare for that and know that if you don't have like a goal that's specific and like really gonna keep you going when your fingers are bleeding and your best friend can play better than you and takes your girlfriend because your girlfriend likes his guitar playing better than yours. Like you gotta keep going. You can't stop. Like
bring in the real stuff.
Yeah,
the realism in the picture. No, but I agree with that. Like, I mean, I hope no one gets their girlfriend stealing from their best friend.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like,
no, dude, it's true.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone is going off. Adriana is just like, Adriana wants to order food and has to tell
Isn't
that to
it
the house.
11 p.m. right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what she's thinking.
I'm not gonna ask questions.
Me neither. That's why I put my phone over there. You guys figure it out. I'm having fun.
But no, dude, I was saying I actually started everything with music when I was 19. Composing, playing, blah blah. And I find that's just like you said, you need to have goals. I started with a specific goal in mind. I'm still going for that goal. But one other thing that I find is that another thing that might help is to be inwards motivated. Like if you find that playing an instrument just makes you feel good, just, taking time to be by yourself, playing an instrument just makes you feel great, then that's also a good thing to do it. Maybe, don't be motivated by rockstar visions. Not that it cannot happen. It definitely can happen.
It's a lot easier when you're a teenager to be motivated by that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like in your 20s, it's not gonna do it, man.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, hey, like, do you ever get people like asking you, hey, what do you do? I'm a musician. No, what do you really do? Like, do you get people asking or not believing?
Honestly, like, I mean, I live in California, so no.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Like if you say you work at a desk job, they're like, really? But if you're like, yeah, I'm an actor, they're like, nice. Like California's weird.
How was it before though? Like when you started making covers, did you think it was going to be possible for you to make music for a Zelda game, which you did? Do you think that was on the roadmap?
No, but I definitely thought like I was going to learn guitar and I'd be rolling in pussy. Like that's definitely but yeah, like playing a Zelda game, that was like way beyond my wildest dreams,
Right.
Like the fact that, you know what I mean, that wasn't even like in the realm of possibility. Like even up until the point that I was asked to play guitar in a Zelda game, it was not reasonable.
I suppose until the day where the game got released, you're like, that's not real. Yeah. And then when it got released, you're like, oh my God, it's real, it's me. It's like,
it's still not real, man. I mean, like I remember I was talking with Danny. Danny was the composer for the game. And we were at PAX West together, and like they had a huge the booth with Cadence with Link and Zelda next to her, and it's big, and you could play the game there.
Yeah.
And like, have you ever seen Westworld?
Actually no. But I know what it's about. Like I know kind of what.
So if the robots ever are told something that can let them know that they're robots, they just say like, it doesn't look like anything to me. Because there's like it's not like it's a complete absence. It's a complete just like shock in a way. Anytime it's physically represented in front of me, it's so hard to process any emotions at all.
Wow.
I mean, that's like I love Zelda. Like I grew up with Zelda. Like the stupid memes or like the I grew up here. Like like Legend of Zelda for the NES. I grew up there. I grew up in Ocarina of Time. So like it's so overwhelming to be able to work on something like that. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
I can only imagine. Like that's that must have been like fucking crazy when they asked you for that. What was your reaction when you got asked by Danny? Hey, let's make music for this.
I woke up to a Discord message that was like, "Want to be in a Zelda game?" Like all lowercase letters, and then I responded, "Okay."
Done. Fine.
What do you say to that? It's like, I got it. Yeah, hold on. Let me. I can't, man. My schedule's so packed.
Obviously, Holy shit, man! Congrats again for that. Like that. when I
Thank
saw
you.
that,
No,
I'm
thank you.
like, I felt like, hey, FamilyJules freaking won at life. But I also felt like, hey, this is a victory for like the whole community. Seeing someone who's just one of us get that far is like, it's
And
great.
I'm so glad like that I still come across as one of us. You know what I mean? Like I've always been scared that like as I've climbed the ranks of the YouTube subscriber ladder, like I thought that eventually people would like, well, FamilyJules like used to be cool, but now he's just a stupid sellout. And so
I don't think
like,
that happens with this specific like niche.
well, it definitely happened with me. I'm a total sellout. Like, give me money. But like, I think, like, but the thing is just like, yeah, like I feel like because I started at such a humble start, you can literally see my entire progression from being the pimply kid, with emo hair in his mom's attic, like go from there weekly to now is insane. And that's not something you had for Axl Rose. That's not something you had for, anybody.
Yeah.
So like, it's such a weird timeline, that like the celebrities that kids look up to now, like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, like the YouTubers can literally watch them from day one, and see the progression. And I think that that's both a gift and a curse, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's a good like point. Okay, tell me 3 of the best things about being a music YouTuber and 3 of the worst things. Surely one is probably the algorithm. Probably,
it's pretty sick. I mean, and then it sucks a lot. No, like you know what I mean. It's just like I try not to think about it because I don't.
Okay, no, they want to bring you down.
No, I'm already brought down. YouTube did that already. I think it's no, like YouTube's not my dad. YouTube is the platform at which I put my music on. It goes on the tray, and then it gets to the and it just so happens that YouTube like throws me a few breadcrumbs like in the passing of that. But it's really. YouTube's just the platform that I put my silly little video game guitar covers on so that they can watch it. If it wasn't YouTube, it'd be Google Drive. If it wasn't Google Drive, it'd be I don't know, OnlyFans or whatever. It'd be something. Yeah, like I don't know.
Would be nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
It'd be interesting.
I think there's a market for that, man. I think like a personalized guitar cover on OnlyFans. Like,
oh shit, that's actually
somebody's gonna do it, and somebody's gonna make a lot of money. But I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I'm too busy playing guitar with John Petrucci. So I think it's sick because I get to make music for a living.
Yeah.
That's all. That's honestly enough. That's 3 points.
I suppose that the hard thing is like the tough points is the time it takes.
The hard point, honestly, for YouTube is that it's so number based. It's literally that one Black Mirror episode of like the social like it's literally that like. And I just went on a rant on Twitch the other night about how like it's so depressing that like the number that everybody looks to that is like it's your high score number, the subscriber thing, and it doesn't even mean anything. You don't like if you subscribe to a channel, you're not going to see the videos unless you you go out of your way to watch those videos because it's going to end up in your recommended and your browse feature. Like, honestly, at this point, it almost feels like SEO doesn't matter because nobody searches for anything. They just watch one video and let autoplay go.
Shit, that's true, actually. Like,
yeah,
it's like the algorithm choosing what you're going to watch in a way.
Yeah, so, and in a way, it's like the algorithm is doing exactly what it's designed to do. And you can only be pissed at it because it's doing, like, somebody might not get your video because they're not watching your video.
I think it's
not somebody who's going to watch it. Yeah.
It's probably a consequence of the fact that there's so many. I think about this constantly because
I'm sorry.
No, but I'm curious. I'm like about content creators and stuff like that, and how stuff gets discovered and how stuff becomes topical in our culture and stuff.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's so many content creators that how are people supposed to find something cool on the internet? Like there's so much stuff. How can you do that?
Dude, like the people who have more than 10,000 subscribers on YouTube are the tip of the iceberg, and it's a fat ass iceberg. Like there's like 99.999% of people on YouTube are people making videos for nobody.
Yeah,
literally 0 people.
Dude, that was me.
Like,
actually, that was me. I have 2 channels now. I've been having a channel for 5 years, or orchestral music tutorials. It's been going great. But then I started this new channel where I make video game stuff. And it was funny. When I made the video game channel, I told my tutorial guys, hey guys, I made a new channel. Follow me there as well if you like my music. From 70,000 subscribers, only 300 followed me. So it's like super depressing. And I had to start from scratch. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the same thing with like doing collabs and stuff. Like, I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, the way to get, you know, big on YouTube is like you got to collab. But like, it's kind of like the people who went to that content, it's going to be really hard to convince them to be an avid fan of the other content. It's just not going to happen as much as you think it is.
So what do you advice would you give to someone who's starting YouTube in 2020?
I would say collab with. Yeah, I mean, honestly, but like, no, I would say you have to carve out a space for yourself, and it's always getting harder. So the best time to do it is now. If you're going to do it now, because it's only going to get harder. But like literally tonight, while you're watching this video right now, literally like after you're done watching this video and help, you know, have Alex have good watch retention, go and make something, you know, even if it sucks, like, you're going to be better in a year anyway. And you're going to look back and be like, wow, that could have been better. It doesn't matter. It's just going to happen. So just go make something and put it out.
I agree. You heard the man.
And like, I don't know, like if you want to get like big and famous, don't ask me. I don't know. I'm not big and famous. I just like, I carved something out for myself, you know, and, you know, I compete with a lot of people who also do the same thing that I do. But I've always tried to push to make that a cooperative kind of thing where we're all helping each other out. But what it comes down to is if you collaborate with somebody, it has to be in a way that showcases you. So don't be sad when PewDiePie doesn't want to collaborate with you, because you probably don't have anything to offer him. Like, yeah,
that's like, man, it's sad, but it's true. I agree with that completely.
It's not even sad. It's just realistic. I think it's just like, what are you going to do when PewDiePie is like, yeah, let's do something together? Like, oh, I can juggle. Like, dude, come on. Like, yeah, like, but like, if you can play the shit out of mandolin, and there's like a cover artist who's looking for mandolin, hit him up on Twitter. Like, you know, follow your favorite creators and stuff. And, you know, you never know. Some people are like, yo, anyone want to make music for my hentai game? Jump on that, you know, like
with mandolin.
With mandolin. Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. I love what you did the other day with you did a video for a Japanese VTuber, like Kurain or something. What's the name?
Oh, Corona. Yeah.
Corona, okay.
I'm obsessed. Everyone thinks I'm a simp. Thank you.
That was
I don't really mess around with like funk, so it was fun to just like pop on a clean tone.
Yeah,
just have fun.
Yeah, man. It looked like you were having lots of fun, and those were very interesting chords. So cool one, and that's probably another way to get noticed by someone, just making these small dedications, blah blah, and maybe that person gets in touch with you. Okay, man.
She actually did follow me, and like me and Adriana, so like it's completely wild. But I did a metal remix of Elon Musk's song, and he didn't follow me or respond to me, so he's dead to me. Yeah, it's over, dude. I was gonna buy a Tesla, and now
man, about like big people like Elon Musk, let's talk about John Petrucci and Grant Kirkhope. How did it feel to make? Actually, first, how did it happen? Like, how did freaking John Petrucci
show up at my house
at your doorstep and be like something like, what is the story?
It starts with when I shortly after I moved to San Diego, I actually got an email from Ernie Ball. They reached out to me and asked if I would like to help, like, start doing stuff for them. Because they were about to release their Paradigm strings, and it would maybe open up into other stuff. And I was like, oh my God, sponsorship. Oh my God, I'm being sponsored. Oh my God, But
it's Ernie Ball, so it's also, it's a good sponsor.
It's the company I've never used any other strings, so I'm just like, yeah, there we go. Like, that's the dream, sponsor, and there it is. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take it. So I started doing stuff for them for a while, and then eventually I got an email, and they were like, hey, you free around this time to do something related to G3? And I knew that G3 was like John Petrucci, Paul Gilbert and Joe Satriani, and I was like, okay, they probably want me to like make some video like, I went to G3 and I had a great time. And it's like some vlog or something, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, but then the emails started getting weirder and weirder because it would be like John Petrucci XG3, John Petrucci, and then eventually they're like, hey, we're gonna give you a call, and they called me, picked up the phone, and they're like, we'd like you to do a video with John Petrucci to help advertise the new Music Man Majesty. And I just about shit my dick. It was. I mean, how do you know? I was like, okay, you know, like again. Oh, let me see if I can fit that in my schedule. Like, it was overwhelming, and I'm definitely the kind of person that like I've already accepted that everything is gonna fail. So up until the moment that John Petrucci arrived at my house, I was like, he's not coming. he's not going to show up. This is going to be a big prank. Like, you know, the Uber is going to get out and somebody's going to jump out and be like, ha, idiot. You thought John Petrucci was going to come? You dumbass. And then they drive off.
A month worth of email exchange just to prank you.
Yeah, just to prank me.
That's more believable than actually John Petrucci coming. I mean, I understand that. Like,
yeah, honestly.
John Petrucci.
For Doorbell Man, like, you know, you're going to play guitar with, you know, the guy who, you know, I don't know, man. It's wild.
Brief interruption. I like that you don't take yourself too seriously despite being so successful. That's
I've tried, man. At a certain point, you can't take yourself seriously. You'll just burn yourself out, man. I've definitely taken myself too seriously in the past, but you wake up one day and you're like, I make video game metal guitar covers, and my most viewed video is about a doorbell.
Yeah, but you know, like it's. I mean, you have the right balance. Like,
thank you.
Believe in yourself.
That's everything. Yeah. Like, I think balance is everything, and it's the key to being happy. It's just finding a balance between all the things in your life. Because I know for a fact, for me, it just every time I've been upset, every time I've been depressed or anxious, it's always because I've been out of balance with something, and it's hard to identify what that is and make changes. But if you have that specific goal in mind, it's a lot easier. You know.
I agree. Oh. So back to the door.
Back to doorbells.
Petrucci.
Yeah.
No, John Petrucci.
John. Okay.
Megalovania play when he's
that tiny little video that nobody watched. I thought we were going to talk about the doorbell.
No, John Petrucci. Also, that one if you want later, but
no, I'm good. Let's skip any questions about a doorbell.
That. Yeah. Like that's one thing that you're like, I didn't mean it to get so big, and maybe when you saw it become bigger than your covers, you're like, really? I had kind of the same emotion when I made my JoJo Funk remix. It was like 15 seconds. I've until this time I've been making big orchestrated covers like Green Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog in the movie style of Hollywood, and I spent 40 hours on that one. And a few people saw it. Then I make freaking 50 seconds of JoJo and the entire internet blows up. I'm like, what?
Yep.
How? But yeah, back to John. So he was at your door, and it was him.
Yes, it was the man. And yeah, he was the most infuriatingly humble man I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
I've known many Dream Theater fans, and there is a certain level of elitism that comes along with people who like prog rock in general. But he was the most humble, just, you know, like he's always learning. He's not in a way of like, you know, like, oh, I'm trash. He's just like, he's like, you know, he's in his 50s now, but he still like has this enthusiasm that he's like this kid who just picked up a guitar for the first time, and he's so excited to learn new things. Like he was literally telling me, like when he did his guitar solo for the Mario video, he's like, oh yeah, I figured out this thing and I'm really excited about it that I never thought about using. And it's he of course he went like he's like, yeah, how did I not think of that? I'm like, yeah, come on, dude. What? You know?
Yeah. That's very interesting.
He's wild, man. He's the nicest guy. I mean, you know, I have a video on my second channel, Jules Conroy, where I talk about the whole experience. And like, I went to see him live with Jack, and he literally, like, after like knowing I was there, he went off stage for, you know, there's probably a drum solo, one of their like 25-minute drum solos, and like John Petrucci literally like texted me. And he's just like, hey, are you enjoying the show? Like, and I'm like, Yes. And then I'm sitting next to Jack, and we're just like, oh my god, his guitar tone, like, what is he using? And he's like, oh, he's probably using the JP, whatever, his like amber. I'm like, oh, but like I think he's using the Axe Fix 3. And so I texted him. I'm like, hey, what are you using? And he responded. He went off stage and responded to my text and told me that he's using. It's just it's ridiculous.
That's fucking crazy.
The most wildest timeline imaginable.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like Zelda, John Petrucci. What about Grant Kirkhope? Like, how did you get to make a cover with him? Like, he's one of your personal heroes, right?
Yeah. He got in contact with me back in 2011 because I'd done a Donkey Kong 64 medley, and I guess he'd seen other stuff, but he really apparently liked the DK64 medley. That he reached out to me and he was like, hey, like, I really enjoyed that. Like, if you ever have any questions, if you ever want to let you know, just please, here's my email, like, let's talk. And of course I hit him up. I'm like, how did you get this sound? How did you do that? The GoldenEye sound, what is that? You know, I'm just like of course I was an annoying fan, but he's actually really good friends with Danny Baranowski, who did the music for Crypt of the Necrodancer and Cadence of Hyrule. Grant Kirkhope was actually one of the groomsmen at Danny's wedding, and I went to Danny's wedding, and I actually got to sit down and hang out and talk with Grant, and you know, he's a curmudgeonly old man complaining about, you know, kids these days, music these days and stuff. But around that, and his extremely thick accent, that's really hard to understand even a single word out of that man. He's the most wonderful, talented. I wish he was my dad. And like, he pretty much is at this point. So, you know,
that's cool.
Be jealous. But no, I was just talking to him and I was like, dude, the internet would fucking explode if we did a cover together. Because he actually did a cover of the banjo theme with Jordan Sweeto, another music YouTuber.
Okay.
And I remember watching that. And Grant did this. He was like tapping, and he was using like this Music Man guitar, and he's like shredding. And I'm like, oh my god, Grant Kirkhope can shred? What the fuck? Like, so. Yeah. I was just like, I know you can shred, and you know he's humble. He's like, nah, I can't even play guitar. I'm like, shut up. Like, he's also the most like he's in competition with John Petrucci for the most humble musician, and completely just like unaware of just. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure John Petrucci is aware that people like look up to him as a deity, and he handles that very well. Grant, I think, is just completely unaware. He just thinks he's like a has-been. Like, oh, my time has passed. I'm like, dude, Grant, shut up. He just did Mario Rabbids, you know, Kingdom Battle.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah,
I think he also did like Kingdom Cup. No, what's the name? Kingdoms of Amalur.
Amalur, yeah, that was a good game.
That one was great.
Was phenomenal.
Good.
But yeah, dude, and like I was just like, I know you can shred. I'm gonna send you a MIDI, like, and I'm gonna send you an arrangement. Just like lay down some guitars, and I'll come out there and we'll make a video. And he was super down for it. And this would have been like 2016, so the video idea was like 3 years in the making. Like we had been planning that for a very long time, but it wasn't until 2018, 2019 that it finally came out.
Man, talk about patience. What is the cover that helped you improve the most as a musician? Was it like God Shattering Star? Like playing that thing on guitar must have been. I was watching it this morning again. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it sucks to play. That's probably one of the hardest ones.
That
like that rhythm riff, dude.
Yeah.
Screw that. I don't know. I don't know if I can pinpoint anything, because I think my progression through making this stuff has just come with like, wow, I really hate doing this thing. How can I automate something or do something efficient? And I've played around with weird stuff, man. Like I've done like I've experimented with weird shit. I remember there was one time, like I'll literally get down to the point of like I created a drum library of all different MIDI sequences of drums that I usually use.
Oh wow.
And I was using that with Superior Drummer's Beat Matcher.
Yeah.
And literally like playing in a keyboard to see how fast I could make a drum track. Never turned out okay. But that's the stuff that I wanted to do. Like how do I make this faster so I can make more music? That's all I want to do.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to like be able to make more content, especially in an age where you die as a channel unless you make daily content. I was how do I make more content? You know, I definitely think over time I've found methods and stuff and templates to speed stuff up.
In terms of like learning some crazy shit on guitar, which you must do all the fucking time.
Every hour of every day.
Yeah. No, but many...
I eat, breathe, and shit guitar riffs, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
But no, for real, like many of the things you do are like, there's a friend of mine called Husky by the Geek. I don't know if you know him. This guy makes covers of Final Fantasy XIV music, and we made a cover together of a track that has a fucking insane arpeggio on piano. That's so hard to play on piano, and on guitar it should be impossible. Yes. The composer didn't write it for guitar, but Husky learned it, and he shows it in the video. And the composer went, "What the fuck? Like, how did you guys learn that?" And like video game music, cover video game music, like has you learn shit that you should be playing on guitar. So, do you have some like techniques or practice routines that help you like learn stuff faster? Personally, like I think I saw in your podcast, like the Boyflow podcast, about how you learn things like slowly.
Oh,
and then you go faster and faster.
Anything with music, you got to learn stuff slowly with a metronome and build it up over time. Like especially anything fast. You know, like if you want to play, if you want to play guitar fast, like, you know, big clickbait title, like you won't believe what you need to do to learn play guitar. It's literally use a metronome, play something dumb slow, like 80 to 60 beats per minute, and then speed it up from there. That's how you get fast. Done.
Yeah.
You win. It's just going to be a lot of work and it's going to suck. But honestly, like playing music that's not arranged for guitar is the charm of it, because you're learning a completely different style that sets you apart. I remember like my guitar teacher in college was just like, "Man, I'd really love for you to learn how to play music that's arranged for a guitar for once, because all you play is stuff that's written for orchestra or piano or a chip tune, you know?"
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I never even thought of that, but it's definitely put me in a weird place as a musician. Like I definitely do things very strangely, you know, like the shapes I use, the ideas I use, because it's all based on the music I play constantly.
Maybe that's something like that makes you stand out a lot more. Like maybe, it's not a hindrance. It's actually a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, final few questions, and then I'm gonna let you go have food with Adriana at 11 p.m. No, like actually, I have one. What is something most people don't know about you, but definitely should?
That's a deep one.
Something you'd like them to know, because maybe like you're obviously so much more than just a musician.
I think I've just kind of come to the point at which I've just really accepted the parasocial relationship between me and my viewers, that I've just really come to accept that it's like I am a character on your screen, because I know a lot of you guys are just going to see me that way. You know, like, you know, when you get comments of people that literally just they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, I get it. Like, you know, when you see the person on the screen that is entertaining you and Dance Monkey Dance, it's hard to personify that person. So like, I feel like I've really kind of accepted that.
But that's what I'm trying to do here, though. Actually, like that's the reason for this conversation. No, honestly.
Well, the people who I feel like the people who I would want to get this across are not the people listening. You know?
True. Okay.
So I think, what would I want people to know about me? I think that I come across whatever way I come across, but I actually have, you know, really struggled with a lot of very, you know, difficult anxieties and stuff, especially with performing. Performing is one of the most excruciating parts of music for me, and it's ironically what my degree is in classical guitar performance. But I've always had the stomach aches and stuff before getting on stage, and you know, like literally every fiber in my being telling me not to perform in front of people because I'm going to make a mistake and I'm making an idiot of myself and stuff like that. Like as deep as it goes, man. I mean, I did acting as a kid because I'm the kind of person that's just like, wow, that's going to suck. And then I dive in so that I can like exposure therapy it, you know, because like, I don't want to be like that. You know, I want to just like force myself like to not. So, you know, I did tons of acting and tons of improv and stuff. And I've spent minutes of my life as a deer in the headlights on a stage, in front of people who were expecting me to do something, and made a complete idiot of myself. And I think it's important that people know that I'm somebody who struggles with that even to this day. And people, who's listening might think that the people around them are confident, not depressed, not anxious, but it could just be them really trying to struggle through it, and to always have that open expectation of everybody around you.
Dude, it very often is like that with musicians. I'm so glad that you spoke about that. I think like many people have sort of stories like that, and many people are struggling with something. But when, I don't know why societally we're trying to hide it. Like, I think we should speak more openly about this, because that doesn't drag you down, in my opinion. It just makes you rise higher in terms of the respect I have for you. Because, knowing that you're doing so much despite having these inner struggles just makes what you do even more incredible, in my opinion. So, man,
absolutely,
huge respect. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great to hear. And I totally relate. I mean, I don't perform, but I totally can understand the anxieties and stuff like that. I do have my fair share, and all those amazing composers, musicians who do have the same. Like, being put in this position where people like adore what you do and they expect more, kind of makes you feel like you have to keep on being awesome if you want to keep on having that love and respect. And that's a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing, because on some days maybe you don't feel so awesome and you're like, oh shit, today I just want to play video games, and so today I'm shit. No, it's hard, but
it's really hard. Yes,
I have like 3 questions left, and then one final one, which is like super like
cool. I'm having fun.
Yeah, same. I'm just thinking of the people watching these videos like 1 hour 12 already, and how YouTube is that people have the attention span of 10 minutes.
Viewer right attention, let's go.
So people want to know what's the story behind the glorious hair, and what's the story behind your name. I actually know the name story, but I want people to know. So what are the 2 stories?
So the hair thing is I used to have really long hair like all the way down to here, and it was like straight, and I did the windmill headbanging and stuff, and it was fun. But it sucked, it sucked to clean, and eventually I just cut it all off. And I have the kind of head that I look like a dweeb with normal like hair coming straight down, because I have really thick hair. So my hair will just come down like a bowl cut almost no matter what. So I'll just look like a Poindexter, and I hate it. Adriana disagrees, but it's one of those things that when I look at myself in the mirror and I have my hair that, like, even before I was like experimenting with hair and stuff, like, I
think I saw you with the hair down in a Persona video, right?
Yeah. I think
in great though. I agree with Adriana.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think it really just came down to like when I was like trying different styles, different ways of like throwing my hair up, and like doing different things that I was inspired by other people, even like anime, to a point where I was just like, I wonder if there's a way to have anime hair without it looking stupid, like, and that's definitely an inspiration.
Cloud strive intensifies.
Yeah, exactly. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I prefer the look that I have when I have spiky hair than when I don't. And that's it.
What about your name?
So FamilyJules. My name is Jules, and FamilyJules is obviously an innuendo, a euphemism. My name literally means balls. For those of you guys who don't know it,
years to figure it out, because I'm Italian. I didn't get it.
But what's cool is FamilyJules is it rolls off the tongue really easily. Unfortunately, that bad way of saying that, but it's FamilyJules doesn't have a lot of attacks in it. It doesn't have a lot of like death clock. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like attack in that, and that is good for that kind of music. But I like for who I am. I'm a softie. I have my heart on my sleeve and all that stuff. Like I don't feel like I invoke that. So FamilyJules is kind of just like it's a much more flowier kind of sound. Unfortunately, but the main reason is FamilyJules was something that a friend of mine in high school used to call me, just as a joke. He's like, FamilyJules, because he knew I was Jules, and he was just kind of being a dick, and he ended up not being such a great person, and it kind of reflected on me, and I kind of was not a very good person either. FamilyJules was something that I associate with that person, and I've put into my identity because it reminds me that that person that I was is a completely other human being. Like taking on that name and wearing it like armor, like the way that Tyrion Lannister, says in Game of Thrones, is my way of reminding myself that no matter what, the only thing that is for certain is that things are going to change. If things are bad, things will be good in the future at some point, and if things are good, hold on to it and be grateful because things are going to suck eventually.
Man, I think about that all the fucking time, dude.
Well, but like it's always going to change. So that's why I hold on to it. And so also it means balls.
Sort of like, it's, in a way, it's sort of like freaking Marcus Aurelius. Was he the guy who said memento mori all the time? I don't remember if it was him. But yeah, it's like a philosophical phrase that you have etched in your mind to remind you of the fact that, hey, good times, bad times. That's cool.
It's a mantra. Yeah. Like something that you can tell yourself to remind yourself.
Yeah. Wow. That's, dude. Like,
it's way deeper than it needs to be. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people are just like, what?
Dude, I love it. Like, I love deep philosophical talks. So I'm very surprised that you have all this depth to your persona. And lots of people listening to this are gonna be like, whoa.
I'm a very introspective doorbell man.
Is there an obscure content creator you'd like to give a shout out to? Like someone that is not very well known. I would give a shout out to Jack Toxic Eternity, but it's not that obscure.
Oh my god. Yeah.
He's okay. Jack, for the level of music he puts out, I think he deserves way more attention.
I agree.
But
Jack is
But he's not. I'm talking about way more obscure than that. Is there like some small content creator you want to shout?
One of my best friends in the world, Sab Irene. She's a VGM sax player. She's done a lot of collabs with me, with Insane in the Rain, with Adriana. She was on the Pollyanna cover with myself. It was myself, Adriana, Sab, and Carlos. She's absolutely ridiculously underrated. A lot of the guys who've been in the VGM scene forever. People like Ro Panaganti, Billy the Bard is
oh my god, he's great,
horrendously like under like represented by YouTube's shit algorithm because he's one of the most talented people on the platform by far.
Yeah,
he deserves like 20 bajillion subscribers and viewers. I really somebody that I don't really like. I know so many people in the scene. I really enjoy Skatune Network, but I don't really know him. But they're amazing.
I'm gonna listen them in the description of the video. People want to check them out.
Cool.
I think you can like hear them all, like the music content creators. We can hear them all in the Mario medley, right? They're all in there.
Yes, except for Skatune Network, because I didn't know about Skatune Network when I did that. But yeah, they're all in the Mario medley. Yeah, the Mario medley is great. Like if you're looking for music, man, like everybody in that medley is somebody that you should check out. Like,
okay, last question that people asked. I'm gonna turn it around. Someone asks, would you like to collaborate with Alex to make a Final Fantasy cover? But I'm gonna turn it around saying, if we were to do it, what song would you like to do? Like orchestral rock or funk Final Fantasy cover? Is there one that you like?
So to bring it back to the like when we were talking about like collaboration stuff and like what I always ask my collaborators like when is I want to do something that's going to feature the collaborator in a way that's going to like people are going to have no choice but to check them out. So like every time I've done something with the 8-bit drummer, it's always like there's going to be a drum solo and you need to like bring it so that people are like, oh my God, who is this guy? I have to check them out. Because the worst thing in the world is just like, imagine like being excited about a collaboration and then like, nobody goes and checks you out afterwards. I've been there and I've just been like, what the hell? Like, I remember I did like in 1 month, I was on like a bunch of multi-million subscriber channels and I got nothing for it. Like almost like no boost in my subs at all. Because like,
you need to stand out in the collaboration.
You need to stand out. Yeah. So I would ask you, what's something that you think you could absolutely kill? Well, and I will bend to you.
Okay. Epic orchestrations. Hands down. Like that's my thing. hands down, because that's what I've been working on. I made trailer music for Avengers Endgame and stuff like that. So that's the thing I'm confident on. So maybe that, but I'm wondering, like, what would be a track where we can slay totally? Because I want the same thing happening for you. Like, I want you to create some insane guitar parts for the orchestration.
What's that one song that has like the absolutely impossible intro? That's not Man with the Machine Gun, is it?
No. Which Final Fantasy is it?
I think it's Force Your Way. Force Your Way is the one.
That thing right there.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well,
it'll come out. It'll come out tomorrow. Just subscribe to both channels. It'll come out tomorrow.
But if we were to do it, like, we're both very busy and stuff. But if we were to do it, that would be a great song. I haven't done it yet. You haven't done it yet, I think. So it's great.
I did it in a medley, but I'd love to do a full.
People
version of it.
Were asking, for the medleys to come back. Or someone asked, like, "Hey, are you going to consider?" But it's not easy to monetize and stuff.
Exactly. So what sucks is I do have to look at it as, like, this is my livelihood now. Like, I do have to look at it from a point of view of, like, a single song cover can go up on stores. I can monetize that by every time you listen to it on Spotify or buy it on Google Play, etc. It's easier to license on YouTube. I have less of a chance of being getting a copyright strike because there's only one song.
Yeah.
If there is one song in a medley, which has happened multiple times, one song, I lose monetization for all songs.
Yes.
All of the money goes to that person who owns the rights to one song. And that's just how it is. It's risky. It's a lot of work. It's exponentially harder to arrange a medley. Now, that being said, I love making medleys. I absolutely adore arranging medleys. So I love where I am right now, where I can kind of make it, like, I just did Replay 2019, which is dope. Thank you. That I think rivals the Mario medley for, like, the longest medley I've ever done. But I performed that at MagFest this year, which was a mistake. That was a mistake. The entire thing. It was hard, and I made a lot of mistakes, but it was I mean, I love it. I love medleys. They're what my channel was brought up on. I mean, people are like, bring back the medleys. This is what we subscribe for. I'm like, I know, but it's not what's going to help me, like, continue to make videos. That's the thing. It's like, the more I can make money doing what I'm doing, the more I don't have to go and work at Subway. You know, the more I don't have to work somewhere, which is going to take time away from me that I can't make more videos. So if you like the medleys, I don't know, just listen to a bunch of my songs next to each other.
Maybe, subscribe to FamilyJules' Patreon so much. You can make it a Patreon tier. Like, hey, if I reach this level per month, one medley per month. So, guys, FamilyJules' Patreon page, go there.
Yeah, give me money. Give me money. Buy my book. Buy my book.
OnlyFans medley.
Only FamilyJules / OnlyFans.
There you go.
No.
Okay,
actually,
man,
I should probably get that before somebody else does. Now that I think about it.
I think someone's gonna get inspired from this conversation.
Yeah, somebody's probably already got it. They're like, hey, look, I'm FamilyJules, not make it.
Dude, I've been holding you here for like 1 hour and a half or something. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you finally.
Of course.
I hope people are gonna enjoy this conversation. I surely did.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did too, man. No, it's been great talking to you. I love your videos. I love the way you break stuff down, and
Thanks,
love
man.
Everything you do. It's really cool to get to talk to you and get to be a part of this. I mean,
thanks, man.
I was super jealous, seeing my boy Jason Charles Miller on the channel. So it's really cool to jump in.
I'd love to interview more people in the future. But yeah, this was a blast. So, man, thank you so much, and see you soon. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching.